Good morning, y'all. Traffic has slowed down so I can record this video because I'm not really driving. But it's Friday, it's a new day, I'm excited. I'm going, as you can tell, I have on makeup, my hair is done, I have on a different shirt. But I'm going to go take some photos for Rare Breed. One of my friends so graciously was gonna give me a photo shoot and we can work together. So I'm excited about that. I'm heading to West Palm. It's an hour drive. So yeah, I'm going to take photos. The makeup is cutie pie by Mommy did it. My lip gloss is not fully applied because I was drinking and stuff. But yeah, I'm on my way there. We were supposed to meet at 10 o'clock, but traffic was bad, so it's giving like 10:20ish. But that's alright. And I'm so excited to bring y'all along for another vlog. I wasn't feeling well earlier this week, so that's why you didn't get a second video, but that's okay. So stay tuned for the rest of the vlog.
So guys, we made it to our first location, so we're gonna get this party started.
Yeah, it's like
Tune in.
It's like 10:45-ish. We got our tour guide here that brought us to the first location. It looks beautiful. Yeah, period.
Look to your right. Lean back, lean your feet fine. Is that your thing? That's nice, that's nice.
Y'all, it has been quite some time since I posted a YouTube video. I am sorry for my MIA that was unannounced. I was busy. I have been busy. Y'all know I'm in college. I'm trying to run this business. I've been having orders. So yeah, I was a little busy. I'm still learning. Like, I'm gonna get into that when I have my sit down chit chat with y'all, but I'm excited. So I'm just gonna add this on to the beginning vlog that you saw, like literally 3 seconds ago, and I'm just gonna add on a little sit down chit chat. And so yeah, thank y'all for being patient and for still tuning in, even though it's been a month since I uploaded. Yes, my hair needs to be washed. It's wash day. So we're not gonna focus on that if it looks dry. Okay. I've been at home all day. The weather is terrible. So yeah, I decided to sit down and do a little chit chat video. I wanted to come on and talk about having a growth mindset and to know how anything we do in life, business and entrepreneurship, our walk with Christ, whatever it is, that it is a marathon and not a sprint. That yes, God has the ability to shoot you forward, and in certain scenarios he will. Life is a marathon, and sometimes it requires you to take it step by step, day by day, in order to get to the place that God has called you to be. And so I wanted to talk about having a growth mindset and adapting to the changes that God does inside of you in order to get to the final product, in order to get to the place that he wants you to be. And so I have a scripture, and it's Zechariah 4:10, and I actually have this written on like my laptop so that I can see it. But it says, "Do not despise these small beginnings, for the Lord rejoices to see the work begin." I just wanted to talk about, because I know a lot of times we have like this hustle mindset, and we're like, I'm going to go get it, go get it, go get it, go get it, which is great. I love the hustle. That's why I love entrepreneurship. But also you have to realize that God has a set time and he has anointed you for that time. And whenever his plan is to come forth, that's when you'll be where he wants you to be. And so if God rejoices in the little, why would we not rejoice in the little? If God rejoices in the, you got one order today, then why would we not rejoice in that? Oftentimes I feel like we look at everyone else and they've gotten 1,000 orders today, and you're criticizing your one. But if God is rejoicing because you got one order, because you made $30 today, then imagine how we should be rejoicing when we experience those wins. Because truth be told, perspective should always be God's perspective. And God is telling you how He feels about the little beginnings. So enjoy the ride, enjoy the roller coaster, enjoy the journey, because God is delighted in the journey. It says that He rejoices. That means, what if you got one order today and He jumped up and He was clapping and He was excited and He was dancing and singing, but you only got one order and your mindset was, oh, I failed today. Oh, I didn't do good enough. Oh, I'm not doing enough. And that's something that I'm working on myself, is to rejoice in the journey. I've been doing this entrepreneurship thing for 5 years now, but I have grace on myself because I did start when I was so young. I started at 14 years old, and typically the old mindset that I would have would be I should be so much farther. But a 14-year-old doesn't really know any um, thing about entrepreneurship. It doesn't have the life lessons and the skills in order to grow. So I've been grateful to God that He has given me life lessons that apply to my business. So everything that I learned that He has taught me, it has also helped me in my business journey. So it has been a marathon and not a sprint. And I'm excited because I do feel like year 5 is going to be completely different. I feel like I'm in a different headspace. I feel like I have grown with God. I feel like my entrepreneurship skills have grown. And I feel like God is taking me somewhere different. But everyone's journey looks different. So I don't compare myself to someone else's day 300 when I'm on day 1, because I know that everybody's story looks different, and He will make my time happen when it is written in His book of life, because it's not like all of this is a coincidence. God already knows when it's going to happen. God already knows what's going to happen and what His plans are for you. So I'm learning to rest in that. I'm also learning to learn what God says about the topic that I'm dealing with. So, if it's entrepreneurship, in my case, the Bible is a book of entrepreneurship. Like, the Bible has the best entrepreneurship skills, it has the best entrepreneurship lessons in it. Even going back to the book of Genesis, because that's what I'm reading now. But Genesis is the first book in the Bible, but it's also the first business story. And a lot of people, we hear about Jacob and Rachel and how Jacob worked 14 years for Rachel, for her father, so that he can marry Rachel. But I looked at it from a business standpoint, and if you go on to read the story, it talks about how God gave Jacob a business plan, and it was to use Laban's wealth in order to build his own wealth. And that right there is a business strategy. So God is a God of business. God is a God of the marketplace. And so we look at how Jacob's wealth was built over a period of time. Yes, God allowed him to reap the harvest in a short time, like when he chose the speckled, I believe it's cows, and the dotted ones and the ones with stripes. That happened quickly, but his work that he did for Laban was over a long period of time. And so the work that he used for someone else built him wealth, but it was still over a 14-year period. And so all I'm saying is this thing is a marathon and not a sprint. You never know when God is going to bless you or how God is going to bless you. So be grateful in the journey. Enjoy the journey. Enjoy God's promise, and walk with Him as He shows you how to do this thing called entrepreneurship. Like, it is a fun experience. I have had my times where I wanted to quit. I have had my times where I told God, like, I'm done. But something always draws me back to it, and I love that God is my CEO, and He is the one that basically holds the keys in His hand. um Another thing I want to talk about, like, from a less spiritual standpoint, is learn to be a student. So I told you guys I've been doing this thing for 5 years, but I recently just started taking entrepreneurship courses, and so I'm working with this lady who's teaching me how to build my website, how to audit my website, how to do more to sell online, how to do all of this, and I'm becoming a student. I'm learning to not let my past experiences define my future. And so in the past, I feel like I've been disappointed because I worked so hard and I didn't really see the outcome that I wanted to see. But now I'm learning to redefine um, my work ethic, to redefine the things that I'm doing in order to see the promise that God has given me. So I'm becoming a student. I'm learning how to do this from people who are where I want to be. I'm learning how to use this God given gift so that I can shine for his glory. And also, it is okay to make an income as a Christian. Like, it is okay. Deuteronomy 8 and 18 says that it is God who has given you the ability to make wealth. So yes, my brand is for his glory, but I also want to be able to put food on my table. I also want to be able to provide for my family. And so I'm just learning how to do all of those things. um and yeah, I've needed help, and I'm just excited about being a student. I'm excited about the courses and the classes that I've been in. And something else that I had to learn is to invest in myself. So I did have to pay for these classes, I do have to pay for the Facebook ads. Something that I've been telling those who are closest to me is when the pain of staying where you are is worse than the pain of investing the money, then you'll pay however much it costs. So I did have to learn how to invest in myself. And so I did spend a little bit on these courses, but I know that the long term outcome is greater than me just sitting here and questioning, how am I going to make this happen? When is it going to happen? What am I doing wrong? What am I doing? So now I have someone to guide me and to walk me through that. And I know that it is God, because everything was orchestrated and put together in his timing. And I'm just excited about how everything is gonna go. I had a vendor event this weekend. I ended up selling out of a lot of products, so I just see God in everything. I'm really excited about the future, so y'all can shop my brand at rarebreedcosmetics.com. It's all for God's glory. It's all about teaching my generation that it is okay to be different and to stand out and to love God at a young age. And so I'm excited to see what God is going to do in your life as well. I promise y'all that I'm not going to go on that long of a hiatus. I just was busy. And I'm also dealing with a car accident and stuff. So it's just be busy. But I appreciate y'all. I love y'all, and thank you so much for tuning in for another video.